Hi, this is Dr. Julie Gilbert with Rachel Matthews. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, everybody.
And we are coming to you a little bit early today. So thanks for joining us or watching us later. But we are continuing our conversation in the book Sleep Smarter. Yay. Yeah, it's been a really good book. And I have done so many things, so many tips out of here, Rachel. I thought I was sleeping fairly well, but I'm telling you, my sleep quality has improved.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's so great. Even you even took something that you thought you were doing pretty well. Like maybe there's no room for improvement. And just with a few things you've done, you're noticing, oh, it could get even better.
Yeah. And my husband's kind of getting into it. He's like, what else does it say, Julie? What else can we do?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. We've done quite a few things.
Awesome.
Yeah. The last thing, I've got a new plant for the room.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those snake plants, or they call it snake. Yeah. I think you have one of those.
I have one. Yes, right here.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten one for my bedroom yet, but they're supposed to be really good with the quality of the air.
Right. Air quality. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 All right. So we are on what chapter? Something.
We are on chapter 17, and the title of the chapter is Use Smart Supplementation.
Right. Yeah, I really like that. Well, and I wanted to say a couple of things first. We're really not making any recommendations here regarding supplements, and you have to be careful, right, Rachel, about supplements, especially if you're taking other medications. You made a point earlier. Say what you said.
Yeah, that just because something is over the counter, or that you can buy it from a supplier, or online, even just because it's not a prescription, does not mean it doesn't have powerful chemicals and compounds that could greatly impact your overall health, or interact with the medications that you are taking for your health. That could have the consequences that you don't want. So
and you want to be really careful. There are some good tools online where you can actually enter, drug interaction tools. Physicians use them all the time because it's hard to keep everything in your head, what interacts with what. But and they can do things like thin your blood, or and interact with the other medications. So you have to be really careful, and you want to check with your doctor about any supplements that you might take.
Yes.
So, but having said that, I wanted to point out the last part of his chapter, which I really appreciated, the melatonin mistake.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of the tips that he's talked to us about getting outside in the sunshine, about being real careful about lighting and blue lights and after dinner, that's all about melatonin production throughout the day. And some people do take melatonin, but what he points out, and I think it's great, is that sometimes we can take too much, and then it down-regulates our ability to make our own melatonin. Or the second thing it could do is decrease the receptors. If we're taking so much, then our body has these natural feedback loops. And if we're getting too much of something, then it's going to down-regulate a receptor somewhere else. So maybe we're really not getting the effect of it, and we're decreasing our body's ability to make it on its own. So we really have to be careful with some of these supplements, like you said, even over the counter.
Yes. And melatonin can be such a powerful tool. And he talks about, sometimes using it like you have jet lag, or you're getting back from a trip, or maybe you're studying for a really hard exam and you're up every night for 6 nights straight studying or something.
Right.
And now you need help getting back into your normal rhythm. It can be a wonderful tool.
Yes. But, for a week, for 2 weeks, maybe, but forever, maybe not so much.
And I've heard many patients discuss this experience where, well, I'm taking melatonin, but it doesn't seem to be working anymore. Right? That perhaps they've taken it for too long, or taking too high of a dose.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So those are good questions to kind of explore for yourself. And if you're taking any supplements, could they be interacting with anything? Others. And then could they have other effects that I'm not aware of?
Mhm.
So yeah, but having said that, I mean, Rachel, have you ever taken, I mean, what kind of things, talk about your own experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I have taken melatonin on occasion. It's something that I try to be very careful with, but because of that, when I've taken it on occasion, it works. I can feel it work right away, and then I kind of slip back into my normal nightly routine. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I do love teas, so
Mm-hmm.
I love to finish my evening with a tea. Especially, it's twofold. It helps keep me from feeling snacky
Mm-hmm.
when the snack attack hits me. So
Yeah.
it gives me something to do. I have some really nice teas, so I feel fancy and decadent, like I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
a specialty thing.
Right.
I have some teas that are very, very flavorful, and
Mm.
so it hits the taste buds that I'm looking for. And but they also have this calming and evening effect. So things
Mm.
like chamomile, things like
Mm-hmm.
sleepy time tea. There's one called kava kava.
Mm.
It's a root, and they've made a tea out of it. I know the Yogi brand carries one. I don't know who else, but I love the flavor of it. And all of these different teas have the effects of maybe calming some anxiety or mood, kind of feeling restful and kind of
Mm-hmm.
putting you into more of a rested state. No caffeine,
Mm.
of course.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then things like, gosh, what else was supplements though? That's about
Well,
all I've really done.
yeah, yeah. And I like your point about the teas and how many things that the teas really check the boxes for. Your snack attack, you're kind of getting into that start of the time of the evening. You're kind of winding down, and it's
Mhm.
part of that ritual. You have
Yes.
something to do. It's warm, it's cozy. I wanted to now recently I've kind of made a change
Mhm.
myself from
That's
just
good.
any tea, herbal tea, to
Mhm.
organic herbal tea. And even within the organics, Rachel, I've been very careful about looking through the ingredient list for
Mm.
natural flavors,
Yeah.
because sometimes, even though it's organic natural flavors, there's, that's like a wide range. That's covers a wide berth of things, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not so natural. And anyway, that for some of those, they give me headaches, so I
Oh.
have to be really careful about that. Just saying,
Ooh.
that's me.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point that as good as we're trying to be, and I hate to sometimes nitpick on nutritional facts, but the truth is, what does the ingredient say? And
Hmm.
that term, natural flavors,
Hmm.
I don't actually know what that means. Does that mean you took a lemon and squeezed it? I mean, that would be natural flavor to me.
Right.
But I kind of feel like maybe that's not really what that
Right.
means.
Yeah. No, if you Google natural flavors and what is it, the USDA regulates that or something like, I
Mm,
mean, man, it can be a lot of different stuff that's not maybe it's a natural process, but it's not really a natural flavor. I don't know. So there's really some, maybe I'm going to look into that and I'll come back with more information next time.
yeah.
But I have to be careful about those. But I love,
Mhm,
yeah, the the chamomiles, and
mhm.
they can really have some very calming effects. Now, I have tried myself some magnesium. I
Ah,
have
yes,
taken
that was the other
magnesium.
one. Yes.
Uh-huh. And I have found that really helpful. And there's lots of different kinds of magnesiums that's connected to another um, biochemical,
Mhm,
and they do different things in your body. But I've tried the magnesium, and mostly it relaxes skeletal muscle tissue, and it
mhm.
can be really helpful. So,
Yes.
mhm,
Yeah,
for
so for
me.
someone who has restless leg or they want that calming time at night, even an Epsom salt bath, because that's
Hmm.
a magnesium salt,
Right.
and we can
Yeah.
absorb that into the skin.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or they come in sprays too,
Yeah,
magnesium spray. Uh-huh. Yeah.
yes. So
And
top
these are, yeah, things you have to try
mhm,
and see if it works for you. You might
right.
get a rash from the spray. I don't know, but anyway,
It's true.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But, and I love his point that really you want to do all the other sleep hygiene
mhm.
first.
Yes. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. It's like with everything we're talking about, right? With nutrition and health, try the natural way first. First,
Hmm.
eat real whole food
Right.
before you supplement with protein powders or
Yeah.
protein bars or like
Exactly. Exactly. If I'm going to stare at a screen until 10 o'clock at night and then take melatonin, don't expect that to, yeah.
Exactly. So what are the, what can you do? What can you do to get the melatonin naturally
Hmm.
first before you try to take the supplement?
Right.
Have you ticked all the other boxes
Right.
first?
Right. Yeah.
I'm using supplement as kind of a last resort because it's not something we necessarily want to do if we don't have to.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then, and talk to your doctor about it. Um, I think that's always a good resource.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's good. I think this is kind of a brief chapter, Rachel. And but from here, I wanted to let's touch into what's for dinner. I'm excited. I'm going to jump in first because I
You go
have
first.
guests. So I'm going to talk about what's for lunch.
Mhm.
But I have guests coming in. My husband's in the other room. We're going to have some salmon and fresh wild caught salmon. And then I made a beautiful salad. You'd be so proud of me. And it's just so pretty. And I know we've talked about that before. We've talked about really engaging your senses when you eat. My latest mantra, I have to say it, is eat slow food slowly. Slow food slowly. So I have an acronym for slow food, but I wanted to talk about the slowly part because, a lot of times we grab a protein bar or something and rush out the door or eat driving down the road when we're, changing lanes in traffic or we're working on the computer and eating. And we're asking our brain to do too many things at once. And actually, we're engaging two different systems, that problem solving system, that dodging the traffic system. That's the cortisol. That's the sympathetic nervous system, where the digestion system, that's parasympathetic nervous activity. And so when we're asking our brain to do both things at once, there's some collision, and that's a recipe for indigestion. And it's a recipe for your brain not hearing the signals from your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So eating slowly, eating not distracted, breathing in between bites, all of that is so important for healthy digestion and weight regulation.
Yeah, if we want to hear the satiety and be aware of when we feel satisfied,
Yeah.
and we want to feel not hungry, we have to give our body that chance. We have to let the brain be listening, and it's sometimes a quiet voice. Yeah, it's a whisper.
But if we're fully engaged with our eyes to see the beauty, and with our nose to smell the delicious aroma, with our taste bud to actually taste and recognize the different textures, if we're breathing and bringing in oxygen, if we're engaging our brain in a larger way, then we're going to pick up on the signals better. Yeah.
And I would add to that I was talking to a patient of yours earlier today, and he was saying how since he's stopped snacking, he's noticing that mealtime is becoming even more interesting. So rather than just like, oh, I've had a banana here, I've had a this or that, and none of it's really exciting. When he goes 4 or 5 hours and he's hungry for lunch, now lunch becomes an event, and he wants to engage in the beauty of it and the cooking of it, and he's excited to eat it.
Yeah.
And so he's already starting the digestion with the thoughts about food.
Right.
Your taste buds kind of start to salivate.
Yeah.
And that starts this excitement about, ooh, I want to engage in this moment and eat it. Yeah.
That's awesome. What about you? What's for dinner for you, Rachel?
For me, so a little teaser for people watching. I've done a new cooking video that I'll be posting in my YouTube soon, and that I'm going to be using as part of this challenge that we're launching, the Daily Dozen Challenge.
Daily Dozen Challenge, yeah.
Next week. So I have a video to kind of go along with it. So I roasted vegetables and tofu and made quinoa and did all this stuff.
Oh,
wow. It's leftovers because I made a lot of it.
Awesome. Perfect.
I'm excited.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, it's kind of short and sweet today. And next week I'm in Texas, so visiting my mom for her 83rd birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Tomorrow. Birthday's tomorrow, but we'll be the next week. But anyway, so join us in 2 weeks then. And we will come back with more tips on improving your sleep quality. So, all right. Until then, sleep smart.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
See ya.